The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was one of the greatest heroes in the history of our country. And it's extra special for those of us who live in these times because he was a hero of our times. There are probably many, many people in this chamber, in this room, people in the state of Washington who remember him. They were alive in the relatively recent time of his life and his work. And I think he will continue to be a hero in our future because of his work was so important and he is so inspirational and his work lives on in countless people. And he's a hero because he inspired millions of people to get our country really on track. I sometimes think Dr. Martin Luther King read the preamble to the US Constitution and said, my goodness, we are not living up to the fundamental purposes of this country. The preamble to the US Constitution starts with we the people, which is supposed to mean all the people. It goes on to say we want to form a more perfect union. Well, we're still working toward that, and the work of Dr. Martin Luther King certainly helped jolt us further back on track to becoming a more perfect union. The preamble goes on to say that we are to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. This is an intergenerational movement, an intergenerational campaign, an intergenerational purpose of our country. So he and we certainly know that these are not easy purposes to achieve, but he cared greatly about the worth of each individual person and the dignity of each individual person, which is the foundation for the movement. He was committed to change. He had vision. He articulated it so well. I'm sure all of us who at the time heard his speeches and those who've watched them since will agree he was exceptionally articulate. And above all, he had courage. I mean, we in this chamber each know it takes courage to stand up on issues, but to stand up on the greatest issues of the country requires the greatest of courage, and he exemplified that and was ultimately martyred for it. His number one strategy was nonviolence, certainly a very effective strategy, although sadly, his nonviolence was often met with violence. So we need to continue to work on nonviolent efforts to improve our country. It's very fitting that today is a national holiday in his honor, and it's very fitting that many citizens in the state of Washington use today, Martin Luther King Day, to come to the legislature to visit with their legislators about how they want the future of our state and our country to be. And I think most of us have our calendars exceptionally filled with people who can come because it's a holiday. So I encourage everybody to participate in the many activities, celebrations, commemorations, speeches, discussion groups that are going on today, and to carry the flame forward to continue to help our nation become a more perfect union.